Today is Friday, November 10th. It's the second week of Nano. It's the end of the second week of Nano, and I've only written 330 words this week, and that was on Tuesday. So I failed this week. I'm just gonna say that I just did not have the time. It's just a busy time for my industry right now, the holiday season, and I knew this going into it, but I just thought that I could juggle work and writing better. I work in the influencer marketing industry as a campaign manager at a talent agency, so I just help facilitate the campaign process between brands and influencers. And right now it's holiday season and brands are really pumping out the campaigns that they want to partner with different influencers with. So it's just going to be really busy this month, especially November. November is a really busy month. I just did not have a good work-life balance this week, but I am off today, Friday, until Tuesday. So I'm hoping to kind of reset, really dig into writing this weekend and kind of making up for the lack of it this week. I'm also just thinking about how from September to October, I broke my foot in September and I was on bed rest basically September and October, and I got so much world building done, so much world building, and so like coming off of that high and just like knowing that I had all these ideas and I was like pumping it out, and coming into November wanting to like really have a strong start for the first draft, and not having a strong start is just really, it's kind of disappointing. Even though I understand all the factors that are happening that's, prohibiting me from having a really great start, it's still a little disappointing because I really wanted to have I wanted the first act finished, and I'm seeing that is no way possible right now. Maybe the inciting incident, maybe even getting up until the inciting incident isn't even possible. So it was a little disappointing there, but I do know that December, towards the end of the year and into the beginning of the year, is a slower time for the influencer industry. So I'm just looking ahead, looking at brighter times, and just knowing that even though I'm not hitting my nano goals, I'm not hitting any of the goals that I set for myself, eventually I will. Putting a letter, a word, a sentence down on the paper, one thing at a time, will eventually lead to a book being made. So I'm just holding on to that fact and just thinking about that. I do want to recap and just talk about what I have so far, which has not changed from the last time I checked it, but let's talk about it anyways, because I've been tinkering with it. So I have the first chapter, the hook, down. I love it so much. It's so good. It is so good. I think that is going to be something that does not change throughout any of the drafts that I go through. Like, it's so good, guys. You don't understand. It's so good. So right now I'm in the second chapter, and I just know reading over it that something's missing, and I think this is my problem too. Okay, this is my problem also, is that I have such a hard time moving on from something if I know that like in my heart it's not complete. I did this when I was outlining. When I was creating my magic system, it was good, it was there, but I just felt like something was missing, and I literally could not move on to establishing like my characters until I figured out what was missing with my magic system, and I solved that problem, and then I could move on. It's just like a mental blocker. I literally can't do it. It's mental and physically, because I literally can't do it. My mind will still wander about the thing that's missing. So I also think that's kind of contributing to me being slower at this. It's because I could leave the second chapter how it is, because it's saying everything I wanted to say. I can visually see the scene playing out, so it's like it's what I want. I could leave it there and I could move on to chapter 3 and keep going, because I have the 3rd, 4th, and 5th chapter scene cards outlined, so I could move on and start working on those to get my word count up. but it just doesn't feel right. Like I don't want to, I don't know, like I just know the second chapter is not where it needs to be, and I just want the words to flow naturally into one another. You know what I mean? Like if I move on to chapter 3, my mind will be on chapter 2, and then I won't give chapter 3 the attention it deserves, and it's just gonna be like a bad snowball effect. So I'm not doing that. I'm sticking with chapter 2, and I'm not gonna make it perfect, but I do know that there is just something that's not clicking, and once I have that into place, I can move on. I'm also reading Mistborn for the very first time. This is my first Brandon Sanderson book that I'm reading. If you watched my outlining videos, you know that I loved all of his lectures on world building, characters, all of that. And so, say hi to Max. Max wants to be in the camera, don't you? Yes. Max is a baby. He's a golden doodle. I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, I'm reading Mistborn, and I love it so far. It is everything I want my book to be. Like, it's so good so far. I'm like, I literally just started it. I'm probably on like chapter 3 or something, but I love it. And as I've been reading this, I can kind of see what's missing with my second chapter. So I'm gonna work on that today, do a little reading, do a little writing, and just kind of just see if I can make up for the terrible writing week that I've had.